Hey everyone, welcome back. It's me, Chantal, and today's video is going to be all about length retention. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about like, what have I done to maintain my hair's length? Because if I think about it, my hair hasn't really gotten any shorter, but it has maintained its length for the most part, and like I am trying to gain inches. So, but I feel like my hair hasn't really gotten any shorter than where it's at now. Like it's right around here, but it really depends on the section of hair, because I find that some areas grow a little bit faster, some areas retain length a little bit better, but I feel like in general my hair has been able to maintain a pretty consistent length. So I was just thinking about some of the things that I do on a regular basis and what works for me, so I thought I would share those things in this video. Before we get started, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me, and you can follow me on Instagram if you want to check out other things that I post as well. Oh, this hair, I don't even know what I'm trying to do with my hair right now. It's just like I put it like half up and a little bit is left out at the back. I don't know, just trying something. So I get this question every once in a while on my Instagram about length retention, how to retain length, and I was thinking about it. I just kind of do the same things repeatedly, and somehow my hair manages to retain length. I am hoping to gain some inches by the end of the year, so I'm on, I guess you could say, a length retention journey, but I just wanted to share some things that work for me. But it's really just important to try different things and find what works for you, and kind of discover your own way of doing things. First thing I would recommend if you're trying to retain length is to style your hair less. So I really only do like 1 or 2 things to my hair a week. Like I'll wash it, I'll twist it, take the twists out, and leave it like that until I can wash it again. And so I just try to keep it to a minimum. Like I don't try to do anything crazy to my hair, although I would love to. I love, you know, experimenting, and I love the idea of trying different things and switching it up. But for where I'm at right now with my hair, and especially with the time that I have, I just keep it to a minimum. I don't do a lot to my hair. So I know that sounds boring for a lot of people. They're like, oh, that's just like, you're not gonna have any fun with your hair. But like, well, hey, if you want to retain length, then you gotta like keep it to a minimum. So that's my first tip, really important. Just don't do a lot of things to your hair. So tip number 2 is don't wait until your ends are breaking to trim them, if that makes sense. I try to trim my hair whenever I sense that my ends are starting to split, or if they're feeling damaged or dry or just not very healthy, I'll trim them. So if my hair is in twists, after I wash my hair, when I put it in twists, I kind of look at my ends and assess how they're feeling and how they're looking. If I'm seeing a lot of single strand knots, if I'm seeing a lot of split ends, and obviously you can't really do much to repair hair that's already damaged, just trim them. And it doesn't have to be a significant amount of hair that you're trimming off. It will help your hair to retain length if your ends are healthy, because if your ends are constantly splitting and breaking, it's just gonna like travel all the way up the strand of your hair, and you're not gonna retain any length. Tip number 3, keep a balance of protein and moisture. This is something that I didn't really understand the importance of until very recently. So if you over moisturize your hair, it can leave it feeling very limp and lifeless, and if you use too much protein in your hair, it can cause breakage and dryness. So you really have to keep a good balance of the two. And for me, I find that protein treatments once a month work really well, and I use a really moisturizing deep conditioner every week to kind of make sure that my hair isn't drying out, because my hair is naturally very dry. There are a whole lot of different types of proteins that you can use. There's keratin, there's wheat protein, hydrolyzed wheat protein, I believe it's called. So do your research and figure out what kind of protein treatments are out there and what you can find, and try those out. And the next tip is don't wear tight hairstyles. If you look at my hair right now, my roots are really loose. I don't wear any tight hairstyles or do anything that's gonna pull on my roots or cause any kind of like pain or discomfort. But if you're someone who is really attached to those kind of like slick hairstyles, or having really tight ponytails or really tight braids, it might be one of the reasons why your hair is having a hard time retaining length, because it can cause your hair to kind of shed a lot more if your roots are being pulled too tightly. It causes damage to the roots. So just keep that in mind. Try to keep a balance. If you love your slick hairstyles, maybe don't do them as often. Reserve those for, like, you know, special occasions or every once in a while, but not every single day, because that can be one of the reasons why your hair is not retaining length, is that your roots are just feeling too stressed out from all of the like tight pulling and tension. And the next tip kind of ties in with that, is to just be really gentle on your hair. I know I have a hard time with this even now. As long as I've been natural, I still have a really hard time being gentle on my hair, because sometimes I'm just in a rush and I'm taking down my twists and I'm just like ripping and pulling them out, and I know that's like the last thing that I should be doing. But be really gentle on your hair, especially if you have kinky hair. Then, you know, that's the most fragile hair type and it's the most prone to breakage. So if you are trying to retain length, try to slow down when you're doing your hair. If you're combing it or doing certain hairstyles, don't rush. Be really gentle on your ends and don't pull or rip at them. And the last thing I wanted to include is to stop obsessing over products. I think it's really important to just like focus on having those good habits before you worry about products. Products are important, don't get me wrong, but I think it's really important to like not think that the product is gonna solve your problems, especially when it comes to length retention. If you think about people who live in remote countries, who don't have access to fancy products, who have extremely long hair, they're able to grow their hair that long because of the habits that they have, not because of their access to a bunch of products. So I think it's really important to focus on repairing some of those, I guess, damaged habits that you have formed, and create some healthier habits and a healthier relationship with your hair in order for your length retention to actually work. With that being said, those are all the tips that I use to retain length in my hair. I normally wear it in protective styles. I don't wear it out a lot, so that's really, really important in my hair regimen and my hair routine, is that protective styles keep my hair from breaking and they allow me to retain length. So if you don't already practice protective styling, you should. See if you can go a week without doing anything to your hair and see how you feel. But otherwise, that's all I have to say in this video. It was just a really quick video to talk about length retention, to answer some of those questions that I've gotten on my Instagram. And otherwise, that's all. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.